franchise that is the crux of why we are fans. The rich, amazing history of a team that reflects the attitude of this town's people and embodies the spirit of everyone sitting in these seats. But when we step back and look, there is one thing that from Philadelphia to Wilmington, from Haverford to Pennsauken, from Westchester to Allentown, cuts through it all and bonds us, every one of us. Every fall, it is the Eagles green that runs through the veins of the young and old, and the divides that exist between races and creeds, rich and poor, the 700 level and the lower bowl are all gone, and we are suddenly one.
And welcome to another edition of AATBirds Fandemonium. I, myself, Johnny Lecca, is joined by Kerry Dunphy, who, of course, is a part of LFG Sports, Philly Sports Trips, Philly PR Girl. You see her, all over doing a lot of great stuff. Thank you, Kerry, for joining me for this wonderful episode.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to talk some Eagles. Yeah.
So the way we do this is I'll ask you some questions. We'll get into that. There is a slideshow. We will go over that too. It's a little fun, kind of getting the fandom origins of our fellow Eagles fans. Basically, Eagles fans, it's like a big family. So I always love hearing. We've done about a little over 20 of these. Bunch of people. We've done it, and it's been a fun show because I get to learn a little bit about each person, their stories, how they became fans, certain things. It's a fun concept that we put together, and this is only the second one we've done this year. We've been kind of lacking in terms of getting in touch with the fans and getting more. So this will be the second one of this year, but I'm very excited to get this started.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. I feel honored.
So
great.
The first one I'm going to ask is,
okay,
what is your first Eagles memory that you can remember?
That I can remember. Well, I do remember watching it with my parents on the TV and just like wearing my favorite Eagle shirt and just getting excited. But when it comes to, could it be more of like a recent kind of memory, or are you talking like when I was little, or like?
Yeah, like when you're little, like something that when you think of the Eagles, the first memory that you can remember, either watching them, going to a game, whatever, that pops into your head.
It would have to be when I actually went on the field with Erin Andrews. I got the opportunity to go on with her. I believe it was December of 2019. It was the Eagles-Cowboys game, and we won. So it was just like a great memory, but that was my first actual ever time in Lincoln Financial Field for an Eagles game. So every time I think of that, I go directly to that. But it's actually where I realized that I want to get into sports reporting, because I always went to school for broadcast journalism, and I thought I just wanted to cover hard news and maybe even entertainment. But when I went on the field with her, it kind of just changed my look at reporting, and I was like, I want to do that. So thank you, Erin Andrews, for inspiring me, but she is someone I look up to today. So that's definitely a core memory for me when I think of, Eagles and going to a game.
Yeah, and it's that was a great game, being able to beat the Cowboys. That's always a great game when you can beat Dallas, of course.
Oh yeah.
So the next one is the favorite Eagles memory. We're going to exclude the Super Bowl. Now I'm more thinking Super Bowl win. A lot of people favorite memory, Eagles winning the Super Bowl, because they never did it before. So I'm kind of excluding that one because I want to hear different memories. I don't want to have the same memory. That would be kind of redundant and repetitive. So the favorite non-Super Bowl victory memory.
Okay, can I cheat and say when we were going to the Super Bowl? Maybe?
You can do that.
NFC Championship was a great time. I remember I actually just posted a video of like the intro of that, doing that. But that was just such a great memory because Eagles fans are insane. And that was just a time to see it with either you were in the game or you were in Xfinity Live, just around the tailgates. It was just a great experience.
Yeah, and
That's probably another memory. It's just reporting and interviewing the fans is just so fun to me, and I always kind of look for a characters I like to call that either has, like, a crazy outfit on or, like, they are just giving me a energy, like, crazy energy that I go up to them. But that was definitely a day to remember.
So it kind of brings us to talking about your favorite Eagle and why. Now, last episode I had, our guest went their favorite Eagle growing up, and then their favorite all-time Eagle and the favorite Eagle that is on the team right now. If you want to do that, you can certainly do that. That's fine. It's up to you how you want to approach that question.
I would say I just think one of the most beloved players probably to ever play in Philly would be Brian Dawkins. I feel like a lot of people would say that. It's like a kind of like common answer, but it's true. Just like known as Weapon X, I believe it was, but just a fun player to watch. I feel like you can be a really good player, but I feel like fun to watch. Everyone's obviously going to love you, but I think my favorite former player would again be Hurts, but it's just because I feel like he took over in a way with when Wentz. I think he put in a lot of work because he wasn't one of like the best players, I would say, and I think he made his way up because I feel like either you're born and you're like automatically a really good quarterback or you really work for it, and I think he really worked for it. And he look at him now. I mean, he even got his master's degree in the meantime. Like, he's just a great leader also. But Jason Kelsey's, I think, my number one favorite. He's just the best. And I love his podcast too, New Heights.
Oh yeah.
But he's just my favorite.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, growing up, I grew up, of course, watching Dawkins, and you had all these other guys, Jeremiah Trotter and McNabb and Westbrook and all these guys, Trey Thomas, all these mainstay Eagle names. But then you look at in recent years, you have Jason Kelsey, you have Lane Johnson, you have guys that have come up like a Malcolm Jenkins, and you have Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham is one of, like, the way he started the resurgence of the type of player he became, and the type of person he is, and everything. It's just like the Eagles have so many players who are all-time Eagles. Plus, they have 4 guys on the roster who've played 10 years, and they were drafted by the team as played 10 years, which that hasn't happened since 1981. So it's been a long time since you had that. You may never see that again, maybe for another 20, 30 years, all depending. But they have so many great guys, and I think a lot of it has to do is these guys, they understand the fan base. They understand what it means to be a Philadelphia Eagle. And I think that really resonates with all of basically the fans, and knowing, the fans know when you put 100% effort in, they're going to respect you. If you don't, and you try to bypass it and try to, get by, they're going to find that out and they're going to call you on it. And I think that's what these guys understand. When
I was just going to say that too. I feel like it's like you have that pressure, not even, to do good, but the fans in Philadelphia, it's either like if you're doing bad, they're going to tell you right away, and I feel like you're just going to like look out for that. But if you're doing good, it's just like probably the best fan base there is. It's just, it goes either way, really.
And it's great because that brings us to the last question before we get into the slideshow. It's just kind of, a great point. What is it about Philadelphia Eagles that make them the best team/fan base in all of football?
I would have to say the passion, and kind of goes back to what I was just saying, but it's hard to put it into words, honestly, but I would just say it is a city of brotherly love, literally. I feel like if you're going down the street and someone's wearing a jersey, you're going to go up and hug them. It's kind of just the way it goes in Philadelphia, but I think it's just like a different breed, really.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I agree with you on that, especially when you look around and see, especially what Philly Sports Trip does. They go to the away games and you see all the fans that go there and all the fans that travel along with them and what they do, and the type of fandom you see from these diehard fans who want to go to these other teams' stadiums, and, being able to see other team stadiums going around, but being able to take over stadiums as well. There's certain, when I went to Washington last year, basically 75% of the lower bowl was green. which was absolutely crazy to see. You see it here and there, but especially with a divisional opponent, being able to take over someone's stadium that early in the season, it's not like it's week 16 or week 17 or week 18 when the team's totally out of it. They're not going to go see a team who has a couple wins. So you're going to be able to take over a stadium. This was what, week 3? So
yeah,
absolutely insane. It was awesome to see.
that's great. I feel like every trip is just a fun time. But even with, I think I saw a video of people watching their practice, and there was filled in Lincoln Financial Field. Like, that just shows for Eagles fans, like, what they'll do. Like, they're just watching them practice, and it was filled. It's crazy.
They want any bit of football that they can get.
Oh yeah, it's an exciting time. I already hear a lot of people talking about it. It's like dun da da da, like the sound of like football, ESPN. But it's just an exciting time because fall's coming and means it's football time. But
yeah, no, to me, that's my favorite season's fall. Like I said, my birthday and stuff's in summer. I like the summer, being able to go to the beach, being able to do certain things. I understand that, but at some point you kind of like, all right, I'm over summer. Let's get the fall. Let's get the football.
Yep, it's starting to get there. We're in August now.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring up the slideshow. You did send me some photos. We're going to go over some of them. Of course, this is with Jamie, Philly sports guy.
Yep.
Absolute awesome follow. If you guys don't follow him already, he does so many great things for not just the Eagles, but all the teams. And it looks like you guys are having a pretty good fun laugh there.
Oh yeah, we were probably laughing for a couple minutes there, but he's just a great guy, and he goes on a lot of the trips with us for Philly sports trips. And just getting to know him, because before I just saw him as Philly sports guy, and then when he doesn't have that face makeup on, it's actually crazy, because we were in the airport after the Super Bowl and he didn't have his face mask paint on, and he came up to me. I didn't recognize him. Like, it's almost like you just see him with the face paint and but I don't even know what we were talking about there in that mid laugh, but we had a great conversation. He was just talking about how he started and how he got noticed, and he just loves it, and he would wish that, like, he wants that to be his full time.
No,
That's
great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
I love that. And I said, I am scheduled to get him on here too.
That's great.
He's one person I definitely wanted to get from the start. But again, this is you with Braylon Edwards, former NFL receiver.
Yeah, we were talking about him getting drafted, and because I asked him what his favorite memory was when he thinks of football, and he said that he was actually kind of excited even talking about it. So that was one of his favorite memories. But it was really nice meeting him, and he's a really cool guy. The little puppers on the left. Yeah, so I was actually at Xfinity Live interviewing fans, and someone had a puppy, so I automatically just went up to them and asked if I could hold the dog. It had a little cute Hertz jersey on too. So that was a fun day. And then on the right, and then on the right, that's actually when I was on the field with Aaron Andrews. So that's definitely a good memory picture for me.
Oh, that's definitely good. You're right there, right on the field, being on the field, the same field the players play on. It's that's pretty awesome.
When they were passing, I didn't realize how tall they were in person. It was actually kind of crazy.
They're some big dudes. And of course, here's you and Philly sports guy Jamie again.
Sports guy. Yeah, we're at the Philly bar there in Arizona, celebrating with a lot of fans. So that was also a really fun day. I believe that was the day before the Super Bowl game.
Okay.
Hollis Thomas, my favorite, and John Belaris on the left.
Yep. Yeah. Hollis is awesome. We've had him on a couple of times. I got to get him on again soon as well.
I met him actually at the Super Bowl too. He was on the trip with us on the plane, and he's just a good time.
Yeah, and it's for me, one thing is like with Hollis was great was, I had him on a show. I talked to him. He followed us on Instagram a while back and Twitter and stuff. And, he would like a lot of our stuff, and I would go back and forth, and I finally got him on a show. And he said, I followed you because you have great content. I'm not going to follow someone who puts stupid stuff out there or nothing to fake. He'll tell you how it is. It's just how he is.
Oh yeah.
And then when we went to, we did a live show in Allentown with him. We had him on a live broadcast, everything. He was great. And then when we went to Washington, he was at the cigar bar, the VIP bar, and I had the access. So I went up to get a drink, and he was sitting up there, and he's like, "Oh, John, how's it going?" Like he knew exactly, like just, for that, it's like, oh, wow. He remembered who I was. Like I'm just some random guy. I'm not, anybody like Hollis Thomas. I'm not a former football player or anything like that. And it was just like, to me, it's, maybe I made an impression, or it's just, he's that kind of person that he'll remember you. And to me, that's a great feeling, especially with a former player like that, to be able to connect with the fans. And basically he is a fan now. But he's been absolutely awesome. And he's the one that connected Philly Sports Trips, Vince, and us. So I thank him for that as well. He's the one that put AATBirds in Vince's ear with hooking us up with trips and being able to do certain things. So I'm forever grateful for Hollis for that.
That's awesome. Yeah, Hollis is just great. I actually was talking to him about his nickname, Hollis Tank Thomas. But he actually told me that he stayed in Philadelphia after his first ever tailgate. So we were talking about that too. So okay. It just shows Eagles fans that he wanted to stay here, obviously other than playing, but yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, he's absolutely awesome.
And I am at Xfinity Live in that one as well. That was a fun day.
Where's you and Hollis again?
There we go. Me and Hollis. A lot of laughs for sure.
But no, it's a lot of great things, memories and everything that you do with, LFG, the Philly Sports Trips and all. Plug a little bit about that. What do you have in store? Is there anything upcoming, anything that you have that people need to look out for? You can plug your socials, everything like that.
Yeah, so my Instagram is at @KDumph. That's my nickname since I've been 7th grade, a little fact there. But other than that, LFG Sports, I'll be on there, and Philly Sports Trips. Their new company called True Fan Travel is their parent company for Philly Sports Trips, and they actually just started Boston Sports Trips. So there will be a lot of trips to come, so that's going to be really exciting. I'll be at the next trip for the Tampa Bay trip. It's the end of September. I believe it's the 22nd to whatever. I'm not sure what date we come home, honestly. But other than that, we have some exciting things for LFG Sports. We might have a podcast coming, so that's just another something too.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of exciting things coming up.
No, that's great.
Can't give too many details yet, but yeah.
You don't want to give too much out yet. You want to just give it a little bit, but to have people keep an eye out and keep a lookout for you and everything that you're doing with all the different platforms and everything that you're on and you're working with. Some great stuff. But again, thank you for joining us on this episode of AATBirds Fandemonium, and we'll definitely be in touch in the future and get connected maybe at one of the games or anything like that. But absolutely, it was great having you. I do appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm sure we'll be on a Philly Sports Trips together.
Probably. And we always end every show that we do with 2 great words everyone always say to each other, and a very happy and joyful, go Birds.
Go Birds.